from like overseas too, so I don't know how many people will be in here, but we'll see. Okay. So I'm going to, yeah. All right. What's up, everyone? So it's Jen back with another episode. I want to talk about Bridgerton and how the season is not really being promoted, and it's kind of like weird, and it's kind of offensive a little bit to me that they're not doing any promotion. And I have Mia here from Let's Be For Real joining me because we have the same opinions on this stuff, and we kind of want to talk about it. So yeah, I just wanted to open up by saying I think it's super shady and disrespectful how they're doing Luke and Urine because they're not giving them hardly any promotion, but season 3 got like more than a month's worth of promotion. So I don't know what's going on, but it's real weird. And I feel like they're still promoting the pollen stuff too, because for some reason, I don't know what it is, if that's the only reason they think they can keep their audience or something. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Mia, what do you think? Because I know you have a lot to say about this.
First of all, thank you for having me. You're last say that. Um, you know, seeing how all of this has kind of transpired, even when I it, and then seeing like season two, season three, and then all the different type of stuff. I would say that there are some things in there that I feel like they're not, they're just not doing the same thing. And granted, I feel like I try to go into this bubble of like, okay, well, they are different stories, right? So it's like there's these different stories, there's different aspects to it. But I just feel like really, I think it's a mixture of the fans and Netflix. Like I think it's a mixture of both. Like I think the fans don't really want to see urine, and I got a good dosage of that from the beginning. It's kind of racist. I'm gonna be honest. It's a little racist. Because urine is a woman of color, and I feel like people were not open to her. I mean, yes, they did some type of promotion as far as like introducing her, telling us, and then having little clips, but it was not as nearly as much as they gave as far as when pollen came. Because pollen came, they kind of scattered for promotion over the course of last year and this year, and it was kind of messed up because we were still getting over pollen when they brought in season 4, which was kind of jacked. It was kind of jacked up because it was like
Yeah.
people were still mourning Colin because of all the stuff that was happening between Luke and Nicola, and all like people were still mourning, and they decided to drop season 4 like a clip of Luke Thompson saying, "I'm going to a masquerade ball," right in the middle of this. Like we hadn't even digested fully season 3. So I
Right.
kind of like they kind of ushered this in at a time where it was like didn't really get a chance to really give it some time to breathe. You know what I'm saying? Like with season two ended in 2022. So, and then like a month later, they did a motion introducing that they were in season 3, to Nicola, and then by that time they actually started filming in the summer for season 3. People had already digested Cantonese, but they were still giving Cantonese during that time. So it was kind of like, I just think this time because it was different with season 3, because season 3 filmed in 2022 and we didn't get it until 2024 because of that whole strike thing. I think that's why they pushed it so hard. But at the same time, they didn't really need to push it because we already were waiting for it for 2 years. We were waiting for season 3. So I just think that, I don't know. I just think I don't like the reception that season 4 is getting, and I don't like the energy that the couple is getting, especially Urine. I can't stand the energy. Like I just made a video last night, and I'm so upset because I'm looking at videos of Luke Thompson now. I'm like, it like in my mind how it's gonna be seeing him interview with Urine, just like a snippet of that, and I'm like looking for this reception.
We're not
Nothing.
getting anything. We're not
Nothing.
getting shit.
Nothing. from the fans, nothing from Netflix. So I'm just like, this is really frustrating because
It is, yeah.
people want to be stuck on pollen so bad, and I get it. I was a heavy pollen fan. I was very heavy. Like you couldn't stop me from talking about pollen. But after everything has transpired between them, the fandom, I am done with pollen. Like I have nothing else to give that couple anymore. I
Yeah.
just want to move on to the next couple and give Urine all of her props, all of her love, because she deserves it. She's new to this show, and I think she deserves to have the same respect they give Paula and all the other women that have been the leading ladies of the show.
I remember when they announced Urine for this part, I remember there was like some backlash about that.
Absolutely. It's always backlash though when it's a woman of color. It's always going to be backlash. They did it with Simone. They did it with I just think it's always going to be backlash. It's always going to be backlash. But it's like you try to not pull yourself into the of it all. That's why I made a video about it and I said this is for pop fans only. I said you guys are literally passing judgment before you even know a female, like before you even know who she is. And I said we probably shouldn't do that because you're gonna miss out on a lot if you're just passing judgment because it's not what you want to see,
Yeah,
or because you're like
exactly.
it's not Nicola or it's not Pollen, and it's like
Yeah.
like I had one girl literally tell me that she felt like Urine was like too. She doesn't give me damsel in distress. She gives me like she's a tough bitch, and I was like, you don't even know this woman. You don't know her. You probably never seen none of her acting. And granted, neither have I. But I don't judge based off of me. Just like I automatically be like, no. If it's a new actress that I'm just getting introduced to, I'm not gonna like single them out. I'm not gonna be like, oh, their acting is horrible. She doesn't give me this. I need to see some work first before I'm like, okay. And I granted don't want to go back and watch any of her old stuff because a lot of it was like scientific-y stuff, like
Science fiction. Yeah, 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 yeah.
and I'm not into like aliens and mythical land. I'm none of that is me. I am none of that. So I was like, I would just wait to see her do her thing in Bridgerton, which is why I'm like, I want to see her do her thing. Sell that story, sell that image. You know what I'm saying? Do what she's gonna do. But the reception from the fans have been exhausting. It's been so exhausting, and it's like I know why though. I
Yeah.
know why they're doing it to her. It's
Because
like
they're still like there's well, yeah, and you said it is kind of like a race thing, and it's weird to me because Shondaland is very diverse in their casting a lot, and it's like you would think that the reception would be different. I mean, hell, the first season had a black leading man. Like what? But every pollen edit, every edit that's been made is like Taylor Swift music, and I'm like, what?
don't
What's this?
started on. Okay.
It's always a Taylor Swift song. I'm like, bruh, come on. Like, what?
Not get me started on the Taylor Swift edits. And they still doing it. What makes me laugh is they're saying, I think somebody said they want to see Pollen in season 4 to like they want to see these songs in season 4. No, it was like they wanted to see these songs in season 4 for season, like the whole season. And they were a list of Taylor Swift songs. And I said, why are we doing this? Y'all gonna make me hate this show. Like for real, like you're gonna make me end up hating everything about this show. Because what is this idea that Taylor Swift is the only singer or writer, or whatever the hell she is? What is with this idea that she's the only one? Like I need some jazz in there. Can we get some R&B? Can we get some country? Hell, even country in there. I think some country music would be really nice in there. But we just sticking with this pop. And it is Taylor Swift every season? No.
That's because the demographic of the fans, as we all know. So,
oh my God, yes. Yeah, demographics are mostly Swifties.
Yeah.
So I get it, but it's like your demographic has broadened now because a lot of people have watched because of season 2 and season 3. And so the reception, especially with Queen Charlotte, like your demographic is broadening now. Like there's a lot of ethnicities and different cultural people who watch this show besides the Caucasians. And I feel like they're just like, no, we're going to stick with the same old. We're going to do the same thing. And it's like,
right.
Okay. Well, you're going to end up losing a lot of demographic because don't nobody want to hear Taylor Swift all day. I'm just saying,
Right.
like, nobody want to hear that all day. I'm just gonna be
Right.
honest.
And then like going back to the lack of promotion for season 4,
Yeah.
I think it's because Luke doesn't have social media, first of all. So like Luke Newton and Nicola Coughlan, they had social media so they could pump it up on social, but Luke Thompson doesn't have any. And then Yaren, she's not like doing that much on social right now. But if I was them, I would be offended because I'm like, why are you guys not promoting my season? But you gave Luke and Nick like all of this shit. And I think I've said this to you before. I do think a lot of it is because Netflix and the production saw dollar signs with Luke and Nick.
Yeah.
So they promoted it hard because they knew their numbers would be up that season. Now I'm afraid for this season and what the numbers are going to look like because they're not even trying. And I'm like, this is so stupid though. Why are you guys not promoting this couple? Like, why is Shondaland and another person on the crew still sharing pollen content?
Yeah.
That's dirty. That's dirty work.
It's very dirty. I think the reason why in my opinion, I feel like the reason why was because a lot of like there was a lot of book fans before the show came out. So I've always felt like, you know, season 3, like Pollen's book was like a best-selling book regardless. Because even when I came in, that was the first book I read. I didn't even know nothing about the other books. That was the first book I was like, I gotta read it because I didn't even know they had a story. I didn't even know, like, when I first watched Bridgerton, when I saw them, I was like, who are these people? Like, I saw her, but I was like, oh, it's Penelope. She's Lady Whistledown. But I was like, okay. And then I kind of had a feeling like seeing that she was like kind of going towards Colin. Like I saw that little clip in the beginning of season 1 where she's like, he's dancing and she looks at him. And I was like, okay, so they're going to be a thing where she's going to like him and he's probably not going to like her back. It was very like predictable. And then I was like, okay, there's that couple. But then it was just like, I don't know. It was like after season 2, I was like heavy into Cantony. I was like, oh my God.
I love them.
I'm a Cantony fan. I am like diehard Cantony. And then they were like, season 3 is Paula. And I said, well, who are these two couples? Because I didn't know there was no book. So I was like, oh, and somebody was like, oh, by the way, there's books to these things. And I was like, there's a book to this? I said, okay, let me go ahead and start reading their book before I get into the season. And I read Romancing Mr. Bridgerton and just fell in love. It was like I fell in love with a whole new world. And I think when I started out in it, I was basically just like talking about the book. But I didn't know that there was that many people who loved that book. There was a lot of fans who loved that book. So you already had that heavy reception of the book fans. And so I just think, but I remember when I started reading Benedict's book and talking about his book, when I had my first TikTok page before that got canceled or banned, a lot of people did not like Benedict's book. A lot of the criticisms towards his book was the mistress thing was the biggest thing. Oh, Benedict called Sophie his mistress, and that is just unacceptable. And I used to be like, technically he didn't say that. I was like, technically she was the one who was like, I'll be your, you get what I'm saying? So I was just like, I didn't really get the gist of why they didn't like his book. I liked his book. It was the second book that I read because I went backwards, right? I read Pollen, then I was like, okay, I got to go back to Benedict. So it was just like, I think because Pollen had such a heavy book fan. And then but I'm telling you, when I started out, nobody wanted to see Pollen. That's what gets me every single time. The traction that has developed for these two and how it went from 0. And when I mean 0, like nobody was talking about it. Like when I came online, everybody was still talking about Cantony. When I came to TikTok, nobody was talking about Pollen like that. I didn't start seeing Pollen stuff till I started talking about it. I'm going to be honest. Like I saw it on Facebook, but who on Facebook? Your grandma? Your aunties? Like your family? Who on Facebook?
Right. Well, that's because like no one started talking about Pollen because most of the fans who are, the Lucalas and stuff, they're new. They came in for Pollen. They weren't here before that. And like I remember I loved Cantony, and I remember people didn't even like Colin because of the book. Like they didn't like him, and they were coming at Luke. And I'm like, y'all. And now it just ballooned up into something else, and people are still talking about it when it's about to be Luke and Urine season. And I'm like, what?
And it's annoying because it's like I find it annoying and a little refreshing because I'm like, it's a refreshing because it's like, damn, y'all used to be a couple that didn't nobody really like that. like nobody was really rooting for you. I mean, I was defending both of them on a daily. Like every time somebody said something smart about Luke, I was like, y'all not finna talk about my baby daddy. Like, don't do that. You're not finna talk about Luke Newton. Like, I was literally on, like, I have videos, proof of me constantly defending Luke all over and over. Like, even when Queen Charlotte came out, I remember vividly a video somebody made, and they were like, oh, Luke Newton's gonna have to step up his game because he's never gonna be like Corey. Corey is so good. I said, you talking about a man who fresh out of drama school to a man who been on West End since he was 17?
Right.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. Like that's
and they're bringing him into a show that's not even the show that he's in. That's the thing. They always seem to bring them into stuff that's
right.
but
Like, this like Corey came in. Luke been here since season 1. Like you definitely not gonna disrespect him. So the amount of disrespect that they were getting, Nicola was getting hate. Nobody was really feeling. I remember having to continue to defend Penelope. At first, I was like, "Well, Penelope had a reason. Like, she was this and she was that. I was defending them." And I remember, like, it just grew. Like, I don't know. I always say, like, I don't know if I was the one who kind of gave it a reception, and then more Pollen fans kind of came around me, because the more I talked about them, the more I started getting more people who liked them and who was reading the book, or people would watch my content and they would say, I'm going to read this book now because you're talking about it. So I was like, yeah, read it so we can talk about it. And then I had some people who had read it, and then some people who hadn't, and they read it. And so I think it just kind of became this large reception. And then but then when we were like, well, we're not getting the season because of the strike, we were like, wait, pause. Like, what's happening? So I would say, back to the question, I would say the reason why I would say the reception for them grew was because they were the least liked couple of the show. Because remember, Benedict was a fan favorite. He's always been a fan favorite. So it's just weird that we're here at his season and nobody talking about them. But it's because you were rooting for this underdog couple who is now the most annoyingest couple on the planet now. And it's like, you never would have I would have never thought that if you would have told me 2 years ago that I'd be disliking Pollen now, I'd be like, you're crazy. I'm going to support Pollen.
I'd be like, no.
You're a liar. I'm going to be Pollen hands down till I was saying ride or die, Pollen till I die. Like, I was going to get it tatted on me. I was like, I'm Pollen gang. Like, that was.
Oh my God, no. I'm glad you didn't do that.
No, I was real, because they were, I remember, like, it was like it really was like you were trying to defend them so bad because people did not like them. It was like, Colin's not cute enough. Nobody wanted to see Penelope. The plus size comments were driving me insane. So it was just like, I just for once want them to, and that's why I think I egged them on so much. And then it wasn't helping because Nicola was actually viewing my content. So and Luke, they both were viewing my content. So I was always like, if y'all don't bring it next season, y'all have to. Y'all have to bring it. Y'all have to, because they are rooting for y'all to fail. They do not want y'all to win. And it's like for me personally, it's like I got exactly what I wanted, but now I hate it. It was like
like a double-edged sword. It's like the thing that
I wanted y'all to win, but I didn't want y'all to win like this. I didn't want y'all to, like, if y'all were lying about what y'all did or how y'all were with each other, I didn't want y'all to win like this. I wanted y'all to win in a respectful way and still be like representing this couple, not to the point where y'all were like, because I feel like they could have still been a team and had none of what was happening on that tour. But it was like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I just think they could have done better because they were good beforehand. Before all of the world tour, they were doing good in promotion. So again, I just think Pollen wasn't a fan favorite. There was a book fandom that loved them. So I think coming into it, you had to get the show watchers in. And then once the show watchers and the book readers mixed, it was like, boom.
Now, and I think like the thing is, people didn't like Pollen, but it was Luke they were there for, and they didn't separate the characters from the people, and so that's what happened. It wasn't even the characters they were rooting for in the show. They were looking at the screen and thinking about Nick and Luke the whole time, and I'm like, that's how it got carried away. Like,
in that, I feel like in the beginning of that, like when I first started out, it was just Pollen. It was just, for me, visually, it was just Pollen. And I think when I made my first video about shipping them, and I didn't even know what shipping was, to be fair. I was like, what is shipping? I don't know what this is. But I remember all I said was they look cute together. I was like, they look cute. Like, they would be really cute if they would be a good couple in real life. But it was like the reception from that was like, you're shipping them. He has a girlfriend. Her name is Jade, all this stuff. And I was like, whoa, I don't even know what shipping is. Like, I'm just thinking these two people are cute together. But because I'm rebellious and I wanted them to win so bad, I was like, I'm going to start shipping them. And I did, but I didn't ship them in a way to be like where it's at now. I was shipping them because I wanted them to be a team. Because I was like, y'all need to be a team because they don't like y'all. That's how I was seeing it. Like, y'all need to band together because they do not like y'all. They do not want to see y'all. They don't want to see Nicola. So I was like, y'all need to come together and like tear these people up and show them what y'all got. And it's like, I didn't expect what they was going to do, though.
See what happened? They got carried away.
And I was like, whoa. I didn't mean that. I was like, y'all keep the same energy that y'all had before. Don't give us this other energy. Keep that same energy from previously, because I think they had good energy before, but they turning it up to 11 was like, whoa, you know? So yeah. I think for some fans coming in, see, I was there from the beginning to the mess. See, some people were coming in. A lot of people came in 2023 when they dropped that picture, which is why that photo was so monumental. And so I think that's when people started to just visualize them, because people started shipping them after that picture came out. See,
and it got deleted.
But I was already shipping them prior to that. So, but even when we were shipping them, my group chat, it was in a group chat. Like, we kept it in the group chat. Like, we didn't take it outside of the group chat. So even our craziest theories of all, we kept it private. But it was something about once we got that tour, it was like all the crazies came out of the group chat. They was like, no, we're going to start saying this. We're going to start saying that. And I was like, whoa, y'all. Okay, we might be getting a little out of hand. This might be getting a little crazy.
Yeah. So like going back to the tour, though, because, of course, Luke and Nick, they got this whole world tour and they got all this attention. And now going back to season 1, I remember it was the pandemic, so they didn't really do much except for video stuff. Season 2, they did a little bit. But they didn't do it on that scale. No. And then so when season 3 happened, I kind of gave it a benefit of a doubt, because I was like, okay, the pandemic's kind of over. They're doing this for the couples moving forward. But now season 4 is a month away and is dead ass quiet. And I'm like, oh, so it was only for Pollen.
I think the reception for Pollen was what caught, because they, as you said, they're the moneymaker. I mean, I think that's what it was. And I think, you know, season 2 was their moneymaker too, because a lot of people like Cantony. A lot of people did like Cantony, but Cantony didn't get a world tour because they were coming right out of the pandemic. Like 2021, they filmed season 2, and then it came out in 2022. But season 3 was such a weird spot for Luke and Nick for the filming, because they filmed it in 2022 and it was supposed to come out in 2023. But then this big catastrophe happened. And then the other part was Queen Charlotte kind of sneaking its way in. So we really were like, what is this? Like, why are y'all giving us this side story we didn't ask for? And then I think once we got Pollen, I think we were starving for them so bad, because we had saw them film all this stuff in 2022 just to come to 2023 and wait an entire year for nothing. Like, we were like, we're not getting nothing. And so then to get to 2024, it's like, oh my God, we're finally here. And then they do this gigantic, I didn't think they was going to do a tour, but when they dropped that they were going to do a world tour, like they were going to go to all these different places, it was like, wow, okay. But I think they were going all out because we were waiting for so long. But I still don't think, I looked at it as because Colin was a traveler, so that's why they did it. But I do agree, like, it's the reception from season 4 that I don't like. It's the reception. Like, I think I don't like how they're being lazy with their promotion. I thought
they were going to like keep the same energy moving forward, since there was no, pandemic to use as an excuse, but apparently they're not.
But I also feel like it's that Pollen pizzazz. Like, if you go back, they technically did a silent clip for Pollen too. It just came out like before in like in April, like right before their thing started. So it just came out at a certain time. But I feel like it was just the pollen possess. I think a lot of people are still stuck on pollen. That's really what it is. And I think that's why I'm upset, half with Netflix, but mostly with the fans. Because and I'm like, where's the Benedict Fee fans? Like, who's talking about it? Like I did readings last year. I did a bunch of stuff to try to give this couple a lot of reception. And it's like nobody's biting it. And I don't know if it's because they don't like the book. I don't know if they don't like, and I remember so many people saying Luke is not going to be able to compete with Benedict. Like when Benedict's character come, everybody finna be all about Benedict and I'm like, where is the hype? Because y'all not giving Benedict no hype. Like what? Where's the hype? But I agree. I do think it's a part of them not having social media. Because Luke has social media. Like you said, Luke Noonan and Nicole.
They're not posting like all the cute behind the scenes stuff either, like Luke and Nick did. And that's the thing. It's like they bumped it up to a level where it's like if it's not kept up by the next couple, then it's just going to fizzle out. But it's just like the show's not even helping at this point.
I think also I have a little hope in them because they do have this tendency to blow it up like a couple of weeks before. So like from what I know in the past, we'll definitely get something on Christmas. They always do that. Now, if we don't get something on Christmas, I'm really going to be like, okay, now y'all playing. Y'all playing games. We definitely might get something on New Year's because we're getting close to the month. So they always kind of go a little harder right before the month. But I agree. I think they went really hard for the month of April. Like they did a promotion, like them coming out and touching his shoulder. Like I don't
they
like
started all the pollen shit like months before the season premiered. That's the thing. I'm just like,
but I think the reason why they messed up is because they gave us that little panel this year in February. So they scattered it out. Remember, the panel for pollen was all within the same month. They gave the panel in February, and then we had promotion in April. That was only a few months apart. But this was like February, January. Like
they were doing stuff so early, and like there's nothing for this.
Before they've scattered so much out. They've just scattered so much out.
Like, but what have they given us for Benedict so far? 2 silent video clips.
That's it. Video clips. I mean, we've had a few interviews, like the little sit down interviews between them. They had the little panel thing in February. So we've gotten stuff, but it's so
the reception to it, like you said, the reception isn't there. No one cares.
Nobody is like biting it. But I feel like once again, anytime the reception is this low, the couple's gonna always kill it. I think that's a theme now. Like you go in with this expectation, like, I don't care about this couple. And then by the end of the season, you're like, I'm all benefit. I'm ready. And I think that's kind of how it's going to be, just based off of the little leaks we've gotten. But I don't know. I just think I don't like the reception from the fans who are not open to urine. I really don't like that. And that is a big issue of why the reception is the way it is, because they're not accepting of urine. They're just not accepting her. They like Benedict, but they don't like Sophie. They just don't like her. But I think, again, I just think it's the reception. It's just the reception from it all. And I think what annoys me is that me as a content creator, and you should understand that when you're trying to move on and you're trying to bring people to this.
Girl, don't even get me started.
It's like, I want to talk about this. Like I watched those videos last night. I was up till like, I think 12 o'clock watching interviews of him, like Luke Thompson and Claudia, and like, I was watching. I was like, "Oh my god!" Like Luke Thompson is so funny. I was like, I hope he doesn't lose that pizzazz that he has trying to be flirty with urine and give like the love story of them. I hope he doesn't lose that, and he keeps that same energy of like the jokey and like the playfulness, because I think that's what sells too. Is like, it's beautiful to sell the romance, but I think the beautiful part is seeing y'all joke around and be fun and have fun with each other. I think that's the other beautiful part about it. But
yeah, and then like the thing about him selling the romance with urine in these interviews is that a lot of fans, like, they're not gonna buy it, right? Because it's not like Luke and Nick. Luke and Nick was real, still according to them. Like Luke and Nick was real, and I think that Luke should stick to his funny nature and how he is, because if they try to sell this as a real life thing, it's not going to work. Like,
It's not. And the only reason why it worked for Luke and Nick was because they've known each other longer. And then their storyline fit their real life, right? They've been knowing each other for 7 years. Their storyline was them, the couple knowing each other for so many years. I think that's why it felt real to the fans. It was like, oh, they're definitely like they're a couple on TV. They're not.
yeah.
They're not. They're so far away from Pollen. It's ridiculous. Nicola said that she is nothing like Penelope. She's more like Eloise than anything. And so
she's more like a hot mess. That's what she's like. She's like a hot mess.
She is a hot ass mess. And then as far as Luke, the only thing about Luke is that he's admitted that he's more like Colin, which I can see that. But I just think, again, to piggyback off what you were saying about the whole thing with Luke Thompson, I agree. I think they shouldn't sell the romance in this. I mean, I think they should. I'll say this.
For their character, like not for like the way Luke and Nick did it, because that's
they're gonna try to sell the whole. Like I said, like I'm expecting the flirtation. I actually am open to the flirtation for them because I think if they flirt, it will open up a door. I don't think the door needs to be swung wide open, but I do think there should be somewhat of a door of like, oh, they're cute together, because I think that's what the essence of Luke and Nick was they're cute together. That's what it was. It wasn't so much, because to be fair, like they just made sense together. And I think that's what it is with this new couple. I think if they make sense together, I think if they kind of open up the door to a little bit to the flirtation, not too much, but just a little bit of flirtation, I think it will be really good for the fans, because now it's like you're giving the fans a little bit of like a kick, like, oh, like you're giving us something to really like be like, oh, okay, y'all flirting and stuff. Like, I think that's cute, but don't do it too much. I think a mixture of the flirtation and a little bit of the humor and like I think that's a good mixture. But again, I think because Luke Thompson is a flirt, I think it's expected for him to flirt with her. But I don't know. It just depends on how it depends on that chemistry. It really is going to depend on their chemistry.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing with these other couples too, where no one was shipping anybody. Obviously, Jonathan's gay, so they're not going to ship him with, with her Simone. Thank you. My God.
They never. There were,
but it was just like Luke and Nick. I don't know what I still don't know what happened. I'm just like, what? Because I was shipping them at one point too, but then, like I told you, when I saw Nick in New York with Jake, I was like, okay, like I'm going to step back from this a little bit.
But I think because Luke and Nick had history. Like I can tell you from the pinpoint of when it made sense, because if you go back before 2022, there was I'm telling you what got me with them.
I saw their 2022 interviews.
Yeah. Or even before that, like her written interviews. Oh my God. Go back and read her written interviews from 2019. You would have thought they were in love. I'm so serious. Like the way she talked about Luke in the past was like she was already hinting that she wanted him. It was kind of weird a little bit.
I think that they were still flirtatious too, even when he was with Jade. They were still flirtatious on social media, and no one can tell me otherwise.
They were, because she called it. Jade called it. Yeah. I think that's what really got me like, do y'all like each other? Because when I found out about her saying what the F to a Pollen moment, and then when the exact Pollen moment it was when he comes back from his travels, and to be fair, that scene is so like, it's beautiful the way he comes in the room and he just looks at Penelope, and he's just like, it's this look on their faces that just communicates like something different. And so I think when she was like, what the fuck? Like, it was like, whoa, like, what are you talking about, man? Are you seeing what we're seeing? And I think that's what made it funny, was because nobody was shipping them. I did not start shipping them until I saw that video, because I was like, if the girlfriend peeps it, something's wrong. You feel me?
Yeah, that's crazy. So someone said in the comments, I've been assuming that the promos would start in the new year with the late January start. It's kind of awkward with the holiday season drowning it all out, that's a fair point. And Mia has made that point too. But I'm coming from a place of they started so early with the last season. and they're just being real quiet this season. So that's why I think it's just a little bit shady. I'm just like, you guys aren't even giving like little crumbs of backstage stuff or anything. They're still posting pollen stuff, the production people. That's my problem. I'm like, why are you manipulating the fan base like that? Because I see it as manipulation. I see it as psychological manipulation. You guys are stuck on pollen, so we're going to keep posting pollen shit and ignore the new couple. And then not only that, but they're starting to talk about season 5 already. They're skipping over this. I'm like, that is so offensive.
Don't even get me started on the season 5.
And season 5 is what? A white couple, right?
Yes. And
that's your point.
That pissed me off. I'm not gonna even hold you, Jen.
When I saw that, I was like, what the
I was about to go off on somebody. I'm not even like, when I saw that they were already talking about when they were going to start filming season 5 and all this other stuff, I said, if y'all want to square up, that's what y'all want to do, because I don't appreciate you glossing over someone else's season, because we didn't do that to the what I'm saying is I'm about fairness. Everybody deserves to be seen. Okay, you had Luke and Nick be seen for about 3 damn years. We're gonna move on.
Seriously, 3 years.
Literally 3 years. We had Cantony. They had their moment. Everybody loved them. You had, Reggae and Phoebe. They had their moment. Why can't Urine and Luke have their moment? Because and it's not fair, because it's like, oh well, like I even have people in my group chat that are like, well, I'm excited for season 4, but I'm really ready for season 5. And I'm like, don't talk to me. Like, I'm literally like, don't talk to me about season 5.
That's weird, though.
Don't talk to me. Like, I don't like that. Like, I feel like, and I think every fan is different within this show, but I get so irritated because I'm like, why is it that each couple can't have their moment? Like, and then the fact that you're not giving Benedict and Sophie or Luke and Urine their moment, it's like, oh, it pisses me off, especially previously, because you gave Luke and Nick every fucking moment. I'm sorry.
Everything.
You gave them every fucking moment. Even moments after the damn show was out, they still having moments. So I'm like, between Netflix and their fans, you keep giving them moments. And then you gave them a moment at the SAGs. They keep having all these moments, but yet they don't want nobody to talk about their moments. It's like, we don't want to be tied together anymore. Stop talking about us. It's like, give Luke and Nick what they want. Stop talking about them.
Yeah, the crazy thing. Yeah, the crazy thing is those posts came out right after, like you said, Nicola's interview. So it's kind of like a slap in her face. Like, oh, you want us to stop talking about you guys, but we're gonna keep posting you guys though. Like, right. I would quit that job if that was me. I'd be like, you clearly don't respect me or my real life.
No, I think the reason why they don't respect them, because they did not give respect at all. I think what Luke and Nick what's happening to them, it's their fault. I'm just gonna be honest. You wanted to act like this. You were acting like this on set. That's another reason why I don't get why people haven't got through their head. Like,
buying the churros and all that crap.
Like, the feeling, there was something going on between you two. I don't care what they say. I'm not saying they had a baby or a marriage. I'm just saying there was some emotional feelings, connections. There was something there, because y'all was acting like this on set, and people were calling your shit out. Like when Simone was calling their shit out, I still don't like the way they did Simone. They brushed Simone off like, please stop talking about this. Baby, you the one showing up wearing the same thing. And then she's just pointing out what she saw. And then y'all gonna say, ugh, like, it's not that. I swear we didn't plan it. But then you said previously in another interview that you and your stylist are planning things.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now you're calling Simone lightheaded. It's like,
yeah, gaslighting her.
You're gaslighting your co-star now. That's not why she don't fool with them no more. You see, she don't talk about them no more, because it's like, don't nobody want to fool with y'all, and y'all gaslighting. How dare you gaslight her in her face?
But that's the crazy thing about the promotion, though, is like they built them up so much. Like, they could do the same thing with Luke and Urine. They're just not trying. Like, they could make them the next it couple by promoting and doing all this stuff and showing these little snippets behind the scenes. But they're like, for some reason, they're not. And I feel like any type of promotion can do that with any type of couple, as we've seen before, like Sydney and Glenn, whatever, they did that. And freaking, what's her name? Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson did that. I thought they were dating too. They got me. They got me.
They definitely got me. I was for sure Pam and Liam were dating. I was absolutely for sure.
I messaged you and I said they're dating. They said they're
Yes.
dating.
And I was like, oh my God, they
Like,
are. And I was like happy. I was like, yes. And then I don't know if you were the same one that came back and told me, Mia, they were lying. They weren't dating. And I was like, what?
I did.
I
said,
like,
no,
what?
scratch that.
I was like, you fooled me. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's just like, it's all about the marketing of it. And I just think that they don't even want to try with Luke and Aaron. And I want to know why. I
agree. I think there's a lot of pinpoint to why they're not giving them the same reception as Pollen. I think, as I said before, a lot of it is racial, unfortunately. But I think it's just the fact that, I don't know. I don't know. I'm so mad they switched season 3 with season 4. I'm still mad about that because I feel like Pollen would have been a better season because the writing was horrible. But I just feel like Pollen would have been a better season if they would have just waited. But
or if they had a different showrunner because she ruined everything. I'm like, I was mad about the mirror scene. Everyone liked it, but I was mad about it. So I'm like, this is nothing like the book. Nothing like it.
Not even in the fucking book. That's what makes me mad. It's like, it's not even in the fucking book.
Like they were on a couch at one point before like the actual event happened, but it was like, he got up and like they didn't do anything. And I'm like, why did you make her scene
in the book was he was saying he wants to cup her breast, but then he was saying, but I want to do it in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
That's the only time a mirror was mentioned. I promise y'all. That's the only time a mirror was mentioned in that scene. Everything else was on a bed. And I think right after that, he gets up off of her and he starts undressing himself. Like in the show. Like he starts undressing himself and they go. But all of that extra mirror stuff.
That was stupid. Like literally, you could have just followed the scene that scene in the book is hot, bro. It's hot as hell.
Oh. Chapter 18 is the best chapter.
Like if nobody in this chat has read the book, please just read the book for that scene because he closes the door.
Listen,
he closes the door. He tells her stay. He gets on top. Oh,
child, if you really want to get kinky about it, read it to when he's at the wedding party because that was some little dominant play when he told her up the stairs and then he forcing champagne down her throat. Like she's drinking and she's like, I can't stop drinking it. And he's just forcing it down her throat. I'm like, whoa, Colin, you're a little crazy.
The book was so much better, and I was let down by the series. There were some good scenes in it, but overall, like I felt let down as a book reader. I was just like, what is this garbage?
Yeah, I just feel like they're so busy trying to make the men not toxic, but it's the 1800s. I mean, men were toxic, and I feel like I don't think they should have made Colin extremely toxic, but I think they should have kept some of his edge because I think if you would have kept some of his essence of his edge, he wouldn't have been an unfavorable character because he would have been edgy. He would like, I think the moments where he needed to get mad, we needed to see those edgy parts because we needed to see his compassion for Nicola. We need to see his passion for Nicola. We needed to see it because I think him crying to me is what softened him. I think if you would have saw the more anger part of it and then made him cry, like kind of like how they did the reveal to Lady Whistledown, but I feel like there was moments where we needed to see that anger because that's what Colin was. It wasn't that he was angry person. He loved Penelope so much that he would get upset that he was like, bruh, like I love you, and it's like, you're going out here doing dumb stuff. Like, I don't want you to hurt yourself. But it's like, I'm not saying they needed to make him abusive. I'm just saying keep his edge. Like,
yeah, they lost it in the show. Like, it was taken completely away. And like, he was just like a beta man in the show. I'm like, what?
They softened him like a little bitch. Like, I'm like, y'all soften this man up. How you gonna make him a hoe? But then soften him. Like, that's so dumb.
Yeah, like how that scene never sat right with me because of the way his character was throughout the whole season. But then they wanted to make him a man whore for like a third of an episode, and I'm like, it's not aligning.
It doesn't. To me, honestly, from my honest opinion, I feel like that's gonna be nothing compared to Benedict. I'm sorry. I'm more concerned if Sophie's gonna catch something, and I've made very clear to that because people think they out here praising Benedict, but Benedict will be the one that got syphilis, HIV, like
he's out here sleeping with men and women. Men
He has
women.
been messing with everybody. I mean, since season 1, he's been in a threesome. He's been in a lot of different threesomes. He slept with someone in an art show. In season 1, he slept with Madame Delacroix. In season 2, he slept with some random woman at a painting thing. Season 3, he slept with
Yeah.
another woman and a man. I'm like, this is the man y'all actually need to steer clear of because he's the one that might got a disease. I'm just gonna be honest.
Right. Right. Oh,
To
I
me,
don't know.
I'm really interested to see how she gonna turn his sexually his sexually transmitted disease, his STD mindset into romance. Because when I think of Benedict, I'm like, y'all hope he don't got no STDs because he been in them streets like for real.
Well, this
You
is a
gonna
fantasy
really
show, so of course they're not going to think about that.
no,
But
and that's the sick part. It's funny how to me they hated Colin for having a moment when he's been green this entire time. The
Mhm.
one time he had sex with someone, it's a horror. Like that lady said, he's cringe. But you're not gonna talk about the STD man. You're not gonna talk about Benedict with STDs.
And
That's
I also thought like Anthony was kind of gross too.
yes.
Like, and I'm like, ew. Like
You having sex against trees. First of
he
all,
opened the season with him screwing a girl on a tree.
right. Like you have sex against trees. You out here like screwing different women in different scenes. Like you're getting out of bed with different women.
No
Then,
condom,
right, no, raw. Just
straight
raw,
raw.
like just raw dogging.
You know, syphilis was like a big thing, but like virgins would get syphilis from their husbands because the husbands were nasty
Yeah.
first, and then they would give these innocent virgin girls syphilis.
Yes.
Ugh.
Because they were hitting these women, these prostitutes, raw, who have
Yeah,
been hitting other men raw. And I'm like, but Colin is just disgusting. He is just, oh, I can't. He's cringe. But y'all not gonna talk about. It's like they look at a man having sex with multiple. That's what I'm saying. Like you're okay with the man being a womanizer, but you don't want no man to be like a little flirty with a bunch of women. At least Colin just flirted with them, and maybe we only saw Colin mess with one. Like he had one scene where he was messing with two women, and then it wasn't even really messing with them. He didn't insert nothing from what we saw. Like he didn't
that is
insert.
already done.
Right. It was like he was done, and then in the second scene, he didn't even do it because he was like, I don't even want these bitches no more. Like I want Penelope now. So I just think like I don't like the way they wrote. I just hate the way they made him, and then the reception to him pisses me off because they were like, well, he never loved Penelope. And I'm like, bruh, y'all clearly don't know how friends to lovers work. That's how you know a lot of women don't know nothing about friends to lovers because they don't know how that works. They're like, well, why he never liked her in the beginning? Well, they were friends. That was the point.
They don't know that they love you when you're friends in the
You're
beginning.
friends because you're friends. You're
Yeah.
always saying, we're just friends. We're just friends. No. So, no, I agree. But I just think, again, I agree with the promotional stuff. Like, I'm hoping they really just come out like with a big bang of everything like they normally do. They give us like this big bang of promotion. But it was a point that you had made that really, I think you said something that was very vital about how you said something and I can't remember.
I did say something.
You said something, but I can't remember what you said, but it was very I was agreeing with you on that because I feel like there was a part I forgot what you said, but it was right on it because I was like, I agree, like they didn't do the same thing. It was something in regards to the promotion or something. I can't remember.
So
You
I
said
said
something about
like they gave Luke and Nick more promotion. They did behind the scenes stuff. They post on social media.
I agree. The behind the scenes thing.
Mhm.
We got some between Luke and Nick, and then like them showing
The
a lot of
pranks, the photo, all that shit.
I feel like like the promotion for Bridgerton, like when they were given the promotion, I feel like they were not showing Luke and Urine together at all. Like there were scenes of Urine and there were scenes of Luke Thompson with Claudia, but it's like, are y'all gonna focus on Luke Thompson and Claudia this season? Are y'all gonna make them the love interest like y'all did last season with Penelope and Philoise? Like this thing about sibling things, like
The
I don't
side
get it.
quests, I hate that. I'm just
Like I
like,
hate it because
there
the
were so
way
many
that
side quests last season.
yes, and then what pisses me off is like if you notice, like if you read the synopsis, they're literally saying he's gonna find Sophie with the help of Eloise. We already know that him and Eloise have a close bond. So now you're gonna bring it back to this bond, that this sibling bond, and not make it about him and his wife. That's weird. That's weird to me because it's the same way you did it with Phil-Louise. I'm sorry, like Penelope and Eloise. It was like, she's married. If you look, and this is why I appreciate the books, because in the books she captures the essence of women getting married, and it being okay to be married to your husband, and your husband being who you want him to be. Like, that's your partner, and you still have time for your friends, but it's not like every single day. Like, you're married now, you're a married woman. And knowing Penelope, who was in love with Colin for God knows how damn long, she was always mad at Eloise. So that's the other part that pissed me off, because they made it seem like Penelope was like, "Oh no, Eloise, like it was just a silly infatuation." But you got upset on several occasions when she would interrupt your conversations between you and Colin. So I again, the way Jess, I agree, she's effed this up. She has.
I don't like her.
Has completely fucked this up. I'm just gonna be honest. Like, she is a really bad writer, and I don't know if it's because she's trying to change it to what her vision is, because her vision is all
She's
women.
making Francesca gay.
It's this all women, all everything, and all the men are bad. And that's why I'm like, I hate that Chris Van Dusen stepped down, because that's why season 1 and season 2 were written so well, because I think Jess was a part of that team. I think it's okay to have women and men on a team and writing together, because it needs a balance of feminine energy and masculine energy, which is why you liked season 2, because you had Anthony being a man and doing manly shit, but also having compassion. And then you had Kate doing shit that was making her independent, but she was also a softer side of herself. With Colin and Penelope, it was like only Penelope. Penelope's a bad bitch. She doesn't need anybody. Colin is just this weird guy. It's like, I hate it. And that's what happens when you just have feminine energy on one right. It's like, there's no balance. And
I'm kind of trying to give them some grace for the season and see if they make this season better than last season.
I'm telling you, I swear. But how much you want to bet she's gonna focus in on his sexuality? How much you want to bet?
I know. I'm still mad what they did to Benedict in season 2.
Bruh.
Like, what are you doing?
I'm telling you, this whole thing about Benedict, and see, I hate that, because I think she got that from the fans, because they were saying that Benedict was vicarious, because he had a vicarious moment in season 1 where he watched. And I'm like, was it really vicarious? I mean, if you look at the beginning, he was actually kind of like, not weirded out, but he was like, I didn't see anything. Like, he was like, I didn't see nothing. Like, he was like, I didn't see nothing.
Like, that doesn't open the door for them to actually do anything. That's the thing. It's like, he's just looking. It doesn't mean he wants to do anything.
Turn him bisexual, like that. And I get it. Like, they want to be inclusive, but I don't think, as I felt like Julia Quinn said, the main couple should have all stuck with their same couples, the same happily ever afters. None of the lead couples should have been changed. If you want to focus on like other side plots to other stories, do that with the other ensemble cast. Like, you having a gay couple in there, there's representation in that. But the main couples need to stay the same, because there are book fans who want to see what they read. And when I mean by what they read, if you're going to do an adaptation of it, it needs to stay the same. But because they're trying to be so inclusive, it's like, I'm not mad about the inclusion. I'm just saying the main couple shouldn't have changed. Now,
yeah, I agree with that.
Like an outside couple here and there, like a lesbian couple there, or a gay couple. Like, I don't care. I mean, that's pretty much what was happening anyway. Like, in the first season, there were orgies everywhere where everybody was sleeping with each other. Like,
the first season was the most smutty, in my opinion. It was. Everyone said that season 3 was like, the most, even they promoted it as the most like sexual or whatever word they used. But season 1, they were doing it every episode, multiple times.
Everywhere. Between the orgies.
Butts everywhere, boobs everywhere.
Yes. It was like, Jesus. Season 1 that's because season 1 was mostly about sex. But season 3, I felt like season 3 was the Luke and Nick show. I don't care what anybody say. It was
not Colin and Penelope. It was Luke and Nick, and that's why it blew up the way it did. Yes, right. I agree.
Because we finally saw what Luke and Nick wanted to do to each other. after 7 years. And then on top of that, they said what they wanted to do to each other after 7 years. They admitted that we've been wanting to do in their own way. They were saying we overdid it in the carriage because we really were hot for each other for a very long time. And so we just kept going because in that moment, it was just like we were so caught up in the moment because we just were feeling each other so much that we just wanted to keep going. That's pretty much what they were saying. But in their own way. It was like, we weren't trying to. You did.
We all know what happened.
Right. We know what happened. You didn't hear it because the fact that Luke has lied to us on several occasions, he's lied. He literally said it was the last stop, but you come back saying you didn't hear stop, but you knew there was a last one. You're getting your
I did a video. I think I did a video way back like last year in July about the carriage scene, and saying how I called it back then that they were definitely fibbing because the carriage, we saw a picture of the carriage. That shit was not soundproof. I don't care what you want to say to me. That shit was not soundproof.
All of the windows were open.
They were open.
All you see is a big ass green screen. You mean to tell me if the director's back here behind the carriage, it's an echo in there. So you gonna tell me
it's in a studio. There's an echo.
There's an echo. You mean to tell me you can't hear somebody saying, stop, stop. But you know how I know they lied? Because Luke said, I think it was the last stop. Stop. Like, that means y'all heard it once. You heard it.
Or he heard it and didn't say nothing.
He didn't say nothing because he was enjoying it.
Yeah.
He was enjoying it. He wanted to do that to Nicola for a long time. And that's what he felt. Just like
and you know how I also know they were lying was because the story changed every time.
Several times. First it was he came and knocked on the door and said, what are you guys doing? Then he was the one who stopped it. Then Nicola was the one who stopped it.
Yeah.
Then it was a soundproof carriage. Then it wasn't soundproof, but we couldn't hear it. Then there was the last stop, but we heard him say stop. You're lying.
Yeah. Lies.
You guys got into it. And even if you look at, there's a photo. Remember there was a photo of the lady who had the camera?
She was in the front of the carriage like.
And she was like.
I said she's seen some shit.
Yeah, she saw something. Because the fact that when they tell that story, she was like, for about 10, they was like, he said for about 5 minutes, they were just into it. But that's a lie. I think it was about maybe 10 minutes. They was into it. And they was like, are y'all going to stop? Like, and I guarantee you the people behind them was like, oh, they really into this. Like, they want to do this. Like, they're serious. Like, they're taking
we've talked about how the casting crew has shipped them before. We all know this. They just they just carried on with the whole mess too. But now the fact that they're still doing it during Luke and Yaren's time is pissing me off.
Oh, it's pissing me off. I agree. Because I think even the cast is pissed at Luke and Nick. Because you're being dumb. I don't know what I don't know what the hell is going on between them. I don't really give a shit what's going on between them anymore.
Obviously nothing now.
Right. But what I'm saying is that I think the cast is annoyed with them because I think you did all this extra shit.
I think the cast feels like how the fans feel. They feel flabbergasted too. Like, it's not just the fans. The cast is like, what the fuck was that?
Because we allowed it. You know Luke should have been sued for flashing Nicola. That's sexual harassment. You cannot flash your co-star because you feel like it. Because you're like, I have to let you see this because you're gonna laugh. That is sexual harassment. That is not cute. That's horrible. And you're saying, oh, well, it was fine. I didn't care. Do you know?
It wasn't sexual harassment because you wanted to look at it.
Right. But what makes it worse is that they let them get away with so much shit. Y'all got away with breaking furniture. Y'all got away with overdoing it in scenes. Y'all got away with almost chomping off different directors about stuff. You had Luke acting like he had no clear set mind of what the hell he was doing. You got Andrew provoking him in scenes. He's supposed to be some theater actor that's a fantastic actor. Why are you provoking him?
Right. What's the need to remove extras from the scenes?
What's the need to do it? He's a professional actor. This should be easy for him to show emotion. But you have to really provoke his emotion to get some reaction out of him.
They were egging him on the whole filming process. 100%.
And then you're fighting with your co-star's love interest. You walking him off dance floors and stuff. Then you ignoring them in the middle of rehearsal. they got away with way too much.
Yeah, that was a mess.
They got
But
away with way too much. And
yeah, but
I'm just like, it pisses me off that they're not giving that same, like, we got so much behind the scenes stuff about them, but with Luke and Aaron, it's like, I feel like they
there's
have
nothing. They could have posted so much behind the scenes stuff about the filming, and like they could have pumped it up to the point where people forget about pollen. But no, instead the crew is still posting pollen shit when you're supposed to be posting Benefi shit. And you're like, is it because they still make you money? Like, I don't understand why you're doing this. And it's just really, if I was Yaren, I would be upset. I'd be like, why am I working this hard for a production crew that obviously doesn't care about my season?
right. And I just think also, like, like I said, I'm hoping that they turn around with the next couple of weeks, like, that they give us something, because we're literally like a few weeks away from the premiere. And I'm like, if y'all don't turn it up for a minute, like, I'm serious, give us something, a trailer, some behind an interview. We need something, because
They
if
should have already been releasing like interviews this month, like, because the show comes out at the end of January. What are they going to do? Do everything a week before the show comes out? Like, what?
And it's because I think it's because if they're back on like a normal schedule, I guess, because again, that delay between the filming and them striking, I think it was off schedule. But now they're back on like a normal schedule, so now they can do everything normal. But that doesn't mean that you still give different energy to one couple and not the other.
That doesn't mean that you skip over season 4.
Exactly. But how much you want to bet when season 5 come out, it's not gonna be the same. They're gonna go hard for season.
They're gonna go hard for season 5, and that's what I was saying earlier. I think maybe this is what you were remembering what I said. I was giving them grace because of the pandemic. Like, maybe they'll go hard for every couple after season 2 happened. But clearly, it's an uneven thing.
We'll know when we get season 4, and if they're already start to push season 5, I'll know that it's a racial thing. It's definitely racial.
Because like the previous seasons too, there was a long break in between each one, but now they're getting shorter and shorter. And I'm like, well, that doesn't mean you start talking about season 5 before you even talk about you're not talking about season 4, and you're talking about season 5. I don't know. I think it's just the disrespect, like it says in my thumbnail, the disrespect, dude.
It's a lot of disrespect. I agree. Like, it's disrespect from the fans. It's disrespect from them. Like, it's not enough. I don't like that they haven't made a clip of them. Like, I know we got the little clip of them like going up the stairs, but it was just like
barely.
It was just like, I just feel like it's not like, again, I don't know if it's that's why I said I don't want to, like, I don't know it's like you don't know who to blame, because I can't say they didn't make a clip of them together. They did, but that's why I said, is it the reception that this show is it the reception from the fans, or is it Netflix? Like, has Netflix been doing the same thing and the fans are responding differently, or is it Netflix not doing their job? Because what to me, they gave us kind of a similar clip. Like, they had them going up the steps and her dropping the glove, which is a part of their story, but the reception to it was like, meh. It was like, man, now me, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait. But there's some people who are like, I think that was the day the girl was like, she doesn't give like damsel in distress. She gives like bad bitch. And I was like, excuse me? Like, you don't even know this girl. Like, how are you going to say this?
Right. So, they're like judging the acting ability before they even see anything.
I would honestly say it's about, as I always say, it's about maybe 25% of Netflix, and like the rest of it, the fans. The fans are being very disrespectful, and they've been disrespectful since we've announced who she is.
So I do remember.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember like when those leaked photos came out from the masked ball in the very beginning of the filming, and people were excited at that point because I had posted about it too. But then they just let everything fall by the wayside. And I think that was also a fuck up, because they could have kept up that momentum, but they didn't. And I think that's another part of why people don't care, because they weren't keeping up with the momentum of like sharing behind the scenes, doing all this stuff that they did with Nick and Luke. And that's a big reason why people just don't care.
Because like, even with Luke and Thompson and Urine, like, they didn't give a photo of them. Like with Luke and Nick, how it started was they got a photo of like them behind the scenes with Jess Monell. Then Luke and Nick were killing it with the photos behind the scenes. It was like, here's our picture. We bought a churro truck for the kids. And then like, I remember her like posting like like stuff in her trailer, taking off her clothes, looked like
The
she was wearing.
Crocs and all that stupid crap.
That was
Don't
from
even get me
season two.
started.
That was from season two.
Oh
But
yeah, that was. You're
there
right.
was a theory. There was a theory that she was wearing the shirt that Luke had on, in the beginning opening scene when he comes back, because there was a photo of her in her trailer, and there was like this blue shirt on top of her head because she couldn't show like her hair. And I remember when it came out, everybody was like, "Oh my God, is she wearing Luke's shirt?" Because they had dropped leaks of him in July of 2022 of his pirate code. That got leaked, and I think everybody was so mad because they were like, we got introduced to Colin's appearance early and we didn't get a chance to really enjoy it because we already knew what he looked like in his pirate code. So that was
Yeah.
what really pissed us off because we were like, bruh, like we don't get a chance to do that. But I'll say they did that to Benedict too. They showed us who he is. He's Zorro, so I'll get that part. But I think with Nicola though, I will say Nicola was a social media queen around that time because she was really driving the fan theories crazy because we were like, "Are you wearing Luke's shirt?" Like she was really entertaining the whole shipping thing with them. I'm just gonna be honest. Like she had the shirt on her head. We were like, "We're for sure that's Luke's shirt." Like we're for sure. I think people were lining pictures up. Like it was a lot of stuff going on. And then I think later on during that time, like they were dropping, like Luke and Nick were really just dropping little hints here and there, and Nicola was really feeding the fans. Then, like I think around the time they filmed this carriage scene, she dropped a thing, like a black screen, and at the bottom of the screen it was like a little horse and carriage, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, they filmed the carriage scene today, we did it!" And then the next day we got that picture of them in between the trailers looking glowy, and we were like, "Oh my God," like they were really feeding us. I have to
But you
agree.
saying all that is the reason why it blew up, because it wasn't the production company, it was Luke and Nick and what they were posting. And
Exactly.
because Luke and Yaren don't do that,
Right.
and I think that Nicola, because she's very intelligent, she's not stupid, like she
Yeah.
knew that that would get their season up in numbers.
Exactly.
And so I think,
Because people
we
were
can,
already starting to ship them. So it's
yeah.
like now you want to feed into the shipping, even though it cost Luke his relationship.
And
But
even though now you're mad at it, you started it.
exactly,
You
she did.
started it.
She did start it. Like it was cute at first because at first it was just an idea. It was like, oh, we're gonna ship them. But then she started feeding into it. Then it was like, oh, we bought a churro truck for the kid. That was the first sign. It was like, really, ma'am? Like,
Mom and dad. That's
right.
like work mom and dad. Like what?
For me, it was like y'all made an executive decision. Did you let does his girlfriend know that y'all spent money together? Like y'all
No.
put y'all money together and you did something for everyone. And then on the truck you have Love, Luke and Nicola. Like y'all are like some type of couple. No, that was weird. Then the shirt on top of the head. That was weird.
They
And then
messed with this is the realization I just came to actually. They messed with their cast mates just as bad as they messed with the fans. And if I was their castmate, I would be like, fuck you.
which is why, if you notice, all throughout that time, we were getting stickers of pollen on camera posts, pollen mugs. I mean, it was like pollen water bottles, um, pollen. The Christmas time was disgusting. It was like pollen on a Christmas tree, pollen on the director's chair, pollen season, pollen forever, the pollen makeup bib, the pollen keychain. It was like they were shipping them more than we were. I'm just gonna be honest. Like that's where the shipping came from. It came from the set
Cast
because
and the crew.
the cast and the crew was eating that shit up. But when you look at the way Luke and Nick were acting on set during that time, now that you know, you're like, no wonder they were shipping them. Look how they
Going
were
off into like trailer naps and like looking at
right.
each other from across the room.
The corners doing dances together, and Luke about to fight Sam, and of course they're gonna ship y'all. Of course they're gonna be like, y'all love each other. That's why I think Martin said what he said about on the little panel. He was like, I hope this season makes people realize that they're in love. Like, I hope this season shows that you don't need to waste time. You need to go ahead and do what you gotta do. Because y'all the ones wasting time. But they still wasting time. And that's on them. I don't really care. But
Yeah.
yes, I agree. I think with Luke and Nick and the promotion that they were doing, I think that's what gave it more traction. And with Luke T not having an Instagram really is an issue. It really is, because I think they can't give a lot. But to me, in a way, I find that to be good, because I think the way the traction was with season 3 was such a headache, because we were getting so much from them. And then when we got the promotion of them, it was like, y'all are not doing it was like we had already had a lot from them before, and then they gave us this gigantic glop of them in February, and then another even huge part in April. And I think that's why the friction and the tension for them became so obsessed, because we had got so much. So with this, I'm kind of glad it's a little bit more relaxed, because I think once we get it, we'll be like, it'll be fresh. It'll be like, oh, this is like, oh my God. I think the anticipation will be better, because it's like,
Yeah.
we don't know anything. We're going in blind with everything. And I
Yeah.
like that not knowing, because with Luke and Nick, it was like, we knew everything. They told us everything. We saw everything. It was like, oh my God, which is what made it crazier. Because it was like, oh my God, Luke and Nick are doing this. Oh my God, they're dropping this. Oh my God. And it was just like, I just want to breathe. Like, I just want to breathe.
Yeah. I think that with this season, like the fact that, like you said, they're not giving us much, I feel like that'll lead to more surprises and it'll make the show even more impactful for people.
Exactly.
But okay, so just to wrap this up, because I have to go to work tomorrow.
Same. Okay.
To wrap this up, I think so. It's not as much the production as like the leads and the cast and crew, because last season a lot of the buildup was from Nick and Luke.
Yes.
So even though the production's not doing much this season, I'm going to give them some time and be like, maybe you'll do something at the end of December or something. But I just thought it was weird how I know, right? I just think it's weird how the hype is not there. And that's what's weird.
I think I agree. Like, I'm crossing fingers that they're going to hype us up. But again, I think what I'm banking on is the anticipation. That's why I said, like, they have to come out strong. They have to introduce it strong, because you have nothing. You're literally going off nothing right now. You need to open this up like boom. Like, it needs to be a big old thing, because you're coming off of nothing right now.
Right. Like, it needs to be like the Kentucky Derby right out the gate. You got to go.
And to me, like, I think Luke Newton, he kind of made a snide comment about them. I'm not going to hold you. To me, I took it kind of snide.
I didn't hear. Okay, tell me.
Because remember, I don't know if you remember, he was at the SAGs, but he was like, yeah, looking like he was like, it's really cool to see how they came, like how they started with nothing. Like, he was like, it's good to see where they're at. He was like, he said something like, it's good. He was like, to see this couple kind of grow from nothing. Like, basically, like they had nothing, and then they.
Oh yeah, like we had history, like, and they don't.
We had this. It was very condescending. It was like, and I felt like it was almost like, y'all not gonna get, y'all are blaming us, but you're not gonna get the same energy from them. You're not gonna get the same energy. And I'm like, look, you make it seem like your energy was healthy. There was nothing healthy about anything.
Toxic.
That we did. It was all toxic. We don't want that energy. That's why I said I'm actually welcoming their energy, Luke and Urine, because it's so much more calmer. I'm actually kind of, as much as I hate,
I can breathe. I'm telling you, I can breathe right now.
I feel like because there's not a lot of anticipation, I feel like I can be excited and wait at the same time. I'm not like, when are we getting this? When are we getting that? Like, I can be like, okay, like, you give me what you got. Okay, I can take it. I can talk about it. Like, I can be in it, and it's not this consistent overturn of anxiety of like, what are y'all finna do? Why is this happening? What is going on? Like, I can just go in with every little thing that they give us. So in a way, I'm not mad about it. I'm not, but I do think it needs to be big. I think they need to come out big. I need to see a good ass trailer. I need to see Luke and Urine do some photo. I definitely need the photo shoots.
Yeah, I need the photo shoots for sure.
Bruh, if they don't give them the boss ass photo shoots that they give Luke and Nick, I'm really gonna be mad. Because to me, the photo shoots say, we are the new couple. We're the it couple. We're the new couple of the season. This is who we are. The photo shoots represent who, like, the forefront of the new leading couple. So I feel like that's where that part needs to come in with the photo shoots. Like, we need the photo shoots. Every couple besides Cantony has gotten some type of photo shoot. Even India and Corey, like, they got a big photo shoot. Reggae and Phoebe did. Luke and Nick has 7,000 different photo shoots. I think Luke and Urine need a good ass photo shoot. We need like a few photo shoots, some cute interviews, and some promotion from the show. I think if we get all of that at once, I think we'll be really home free. But
Yeah.
Again, cross fingers that
But
they
if they don't, then if they don't do that,
it's bomb over Baghdad.
if they don't do that, then it's clear like why they favor the
Right.
certain couples.
Exactly. One is more of their moneymaker and they're playing favoritism. And it's a racial thing. I'm gonna go straight racial. I'm gonna go straight racist.
I
I'm like,
don't like I agree. I agree with you because the fact that Kanthony didn't even get a photo shoot, but Luke and Nick got a photo shoot for season 2 with the entertainment magazine.
Indy and
What?
Corey. Even Indy and Corey. Like Indy and
Yeah.
Corey got a photo shoot. But it's something about Cantony. I don't know why they did that with Cantony. I don't know if it was because like, I mean, you can't say racial because I feel like you got one for Reggae and Phoebe, and then you got one for Indy and Corey. I feel like Indy and Corey were mixed. So I'm like, I don't know if it was people were saying because Simone was darker. She's a darker skinned girl, and the other two leads were not dark; they were more light skinned.
Maybe their schedules just never aligned though. Maybe it's as simple as that. Who knows?
I've always felt like I don't like that they focused it more on Charithra. Like Charithra got a photo shoot, and Pollen got their photo shoot during season 2, which I think a lot of people were pissed about that Pollen got their photo shoot, and then Cantony didn't. But I don't know if, sometimes I'm not going to hold you. I really believe that Simone and Jonathan don't really mix. I'm just going to be honest. I really
But they're like they acted it so well that like when I was watching season 2, I was like, oh my God, like I see the chemistry in the characters.
They like each other. I don't, because when I remember their interview when they were talking about their sex scenes, and Jonathan literally said it was the most boringest scene I've ever done in my life. I was like, you just said that to her, like to her face.
Oh my God. What?
I was like,
I didn't see that.
Like, it was so brutal. They was like, well, you guys are doing, like, they were trying to egg it up. They're like, oh, you guys are doing your spicy things. He was like, it's really not that serious. He was like, it's literally the most boringest thing on set. It was so boring. And Simone was just like, well, damn, like, you didn't have to come for me like that.
But they barely had any, like, compared with season 1. That's what I noticed. Season 2 was very lacking in the sexy time stuff.
And I really believe Jonathan and I think they're cordial, but I don't think they fuck with each other like that. I'm just gonna be honest, because if you notice how, like, with Jonathan, Simone, Reagan and Phoebe, like, you can tell, like, I felt like they were normal, and then you see them eventually out together, outside of work. Like, I think they did something recently, but I've never seen Jonathan and Simone have gone to the same events and never spoke words. And I'm like,
that's what Nick and Luke are doing now.
Literally, like, I feel like when they went to the Met Gala, I was like, how are you and Simone in the same room? Y'all don't talk? Like, are you just not talking? And then recently they just both went to, I think, the Dior fashion show. Nothing. She's in the fashion show. And I'm like, y'all don't cross paths? Y'all don't speak? I'm telling you, something between them two is off.
I just feel like their personalities clash, or so, because Simone is very like,
because they both think they're fabulous. Because Simone is fabulous, and Jonathan is also fabulous. I feel like they're two queens. Like, Jonathan is a queen. He is.
Jonathan, though, is also very like hyperactive, and like Simone is more laid back. Like, she doesn't like that energy.
But I really think it's the clash of the diva and divo. I'm just gonna be honest, because I feel like they're both fabulous. And Jonathan is fabulous, and Simone is also fabulous. So I feel like that's why when she mentioned to Nicola, like, she was like, me and Jonathan just didn't talk about our sex scenes at all. We were just like, no, like, we're not doing that. Like, absolutely not. Which is so funny to me how he does with Cynthia and Ari. It's like, oh, I want to talk about that. Or with Scarlett Johansson, you're kissing her in the mouth.
On the mouth.
But with Simone, it's like, no, we're not talking about that. That's what I'm saying. I really believe it's this clash of, like, because Simone is a diva. She is like, she gives diva energy. Not that she's a mean person, but she gives, like, I'm the shit energy.
Boss bitch.
But yes, but in a way, she kind of can do that because she's bad as fuck. Like, she's cute. Like, Simone is fine as hell. Like, she's beautiful. And Jonathan is a badass. Like, come on. Like, when you look at those two, it makes sense. They're both very attractive ass people. So I get it, but I feel like that's why they clash, because it's like, I'm a diva, you're a divo, we can work together, but don't talk to me.
Yeah, we're gonna work together, but then after work, don't call me, don't text me, leave me alone.
It's giving, don't call me bitch. Don't call me. Don't text me. If it's not for work, don't call me, bitch, because I don't want to say shit to you. I'm telling you, like, because everybody else don't act like that. Notice, no, I literally saw Reggae and Phoebe at an event, and I'm like, oh, okay. But Jonathan Simone, they have crossed paths so many times and never spoke, and I'm like, do y'all just not talk? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's
But
so
that's the
crazy.
energy that we need to see from Luke and Yaren though too. And it's
Yeah,
like you guys just give it because Yaren has Instagram, so she could really post stuff and do
she
things like
could,
but
but I think she's scared.
I really do. That's what I'm like, I think she's scared to do this because of what people are saying. And like she thinks like
She's.
I don't know. I
I
think
feel
she's
like.
scared of like pollen fans or something.
Well, to be fair, the Pollen fans attacked her one time because she used a yellow heart in a pose, and they attacked her. They were like, "That's
What?
Pollen's color, don't you?" And I was like,
Oh
"Are
my
y'all really about to
God.
jump on this girl for a yellow heart? Like, please calm down. Please leave this woman alone. She's new. Leave her alone." It was horrible, but
That's
I
terrible.
think she's a little scared because I'm sure she's seen the friction that just happened. I know she saw all that shit that just happened with them previously. So I think she's terrified. I think she's like, I don't know how I'm gonna handle this coming out, because I think once everybody sees it, it opens up a door for everybody to start judging and saying things. So I think she's trying to lay as low as possible until everything comes out, and then maybe she'll start sharing. But I genuinely, I sense fear there.
I
I
think
sense a
that
little fear.
I agree. It's like one of those things where you feel like you might not be able to measure up to last season, and then you start
Yeah,
getting in your head, and
it's
then imposter syndrome.
it's that.
Yeah.
I think she's like, how are we going to compete with this last season? Because it was crazy. The hype of it was still crazy. And I think that's intimidating because I feel like with Luke and Nick, they felt like, well, how are we going to compete with season two? Well, congratulations, you figured it out. But with with Urine and Luke Thompson, I feel like they're really like, how the hell are we going to compete with 45 billion like, how the hell we gonna compete with that? We got, like, they had a billion streams the first week of their damn season. Like, how
I
we
don't think that's gonna happen again, to be honest,
I don't think
though.
so. I mean, I can't say it won't and I can't say it will. I just think it depends on how good they do. It depends on the chemistry. The chemistry is what's gonna sell it. I'm just gonna be honest, because this is a show about chemistry and romance. They have to pull it off in the chemistry section, even if they have to fake it just a little bit. Like, they gotta sell the chemistry because, again, I'm not saying sell it too much. I'm saying give it a little something with a little bit of humor to give it a little something. And I think they're trying that already, but I think when we saw them before, they were still trying to get to know each other, so that's why the chemistry still kind of seemed kind of odd. But I think now that they've done their sex thing, like everything, I think it might be a little bit different. That's why I'm like really eager to see them interact, because I'm like, I'm praying to God they deliver the leading woman, leading man energy.
But
Because every couple,
what's
yeah,
crazy about it is that they could go so hard and they could do so much better, but the Pollen fans are only going to watch season 4 for Pollen. And when they don't get them, because I'm telling you right now, we're only going to get like one scene with them at the most,
yeah.
one or two scenes, and then all those numbers are going to drop because they're going to be mad. Oh, where's Pollen? Why'd you do Benedict so much in Pollen season, but now Pollen's not getting anything? And that's what I'm
I'm
yeah,
just not,
because they could act their hearts out and it still wouldn't even matter.
and that's what annoys me, because Luke and Nick are not the shit. They're just not. I get that we all thought they were, but they're not the shit. I won't say that. I just think it's time to get over it. Get over yourself. And I even said that. I said, watch Cantony, watch Pollen fans be just like Cantony fans. They gonna do exactly what Cantony fans do. They gonna be, well, you didn't give Pollen this, and you didn't give Pollen that, and Pollen this. And I'm like, y'all sound just like these damn Cantony fans. And I'm just like, please let it go. Like, can we just let Urine and Luke have their shining moment and move on? And to be fair, because that's what Cantony said about Pollen. Well, they gave Pollen all these scenes in season 2, but and then now they're like, well, y'all gave Benedict, and then Eloise, then Benedict fans are gonna say, well, you're giving Eloise all the. It's. I think that's just the theme of the show, is like to show the next person that's coming up. I think that's the theme of the show. But I think because we saw in season 1, you see how much it was focusing on Anthony. And then in season 2, you see how much they were focusing on Pollen. And in season 3, you
That's a
see
good point. Yeah.
It's the same thing. I just think the fans want to complain because they want their favorite couple to be the it. But I think Pollen was it for a while. But I don't think they should be it anymore because they're not.
Yeah.
And they're toxic and they're annoying and I don't want to see them anymore. I'm tired of them.
People need to set their expectations like right now. That mirror scene that we got a behind the scenes of in season 4, that's probably all we're going to get of Pollen. So set your expectations now, and that's
Okay,
probably all you're going to
I
get.
don't see them. I'm telling you, if you've seen it previously, you see how many scenes Cantony had in season 3. You saw that, like droplets of little seasons. Expect droplets from Pollen, which I'm open. I'm open to that. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them interact. I don't
I
want to
don't
see them.
want to see them have a love scene. I don't want to see none
I
of
don't want
that.
to see that shit. I don't want to see them do anything.
They
I don't want
probably didn't give them a love scene because they're so weird around each other now
to
that
exactly. Or they didn't give them a love scene because I'm like, we don't have time for your liabilities because we don't have time for it. You're a liability at this point, and we don't want to deal with you anymore. We don't need Luke flashing his penis to you and y'all overdoing it in scenes. We don't have time for that shit anymore. So they probably didn't even give them a sex scene or a love scene, and I pray to God they didn't because I don't want to see it. I don't
yeah.
want to see them overdo it, and then the fans be like, "Oh my God, Pollen did another carriage scene." I don't want to hear it.
I'm actually excited to see them in season 4 only because I think that the chemistry and I think how they're going to act with each other, it's going to show through their real life stuff. It's going to show through on the screen. They're going to have to act really well for it not to. But I feel like it's going to be different than them in season 3, and it's going to be funny.
I feel like everybody's been saying that. They're like, I think the chemistry is gonna be so good. I just feel like, I
I
mean,
think
some
it's going to be weird.
yeah, I think people. I've been hearing a lot of people say like they think it's gonna be weird between them, but I feel like Luke and Nick are going to try their best to try to make it seem like everything's okay because that's what they do. They play this role like, oh, we're fine, but then delete photos of each other like weeks, months later. So
Personal photos, not just
right,
production photos.
it's like, oh, we're gonna go to the SAGs and we're gonna laugh and we're gonna have fun together. But then months later, we're gonna delete photos of each other off of our page because we really don't fuck with each other anymore. That's fine. I don't really care. But at the end of the day, it's like you go ahead and do what you got to do because you don't want to mess up that check. You just not gonna fuck up that check. You're not. So I think they're gonna try their best, but I think as Pollen fans or as fans are gonna notice because they know Luke and Nick, and while Luke and Nick think their fans don't know them, they know them because y'all allowed us into your world enough to figure you out. It's
Right.
not hard. Both of
Yeah.
y'all are not hard to figure out. You're really not. I mean, you can get more private, but we're gonna figure your shit out. So hey.
So someone said that they think season 5 is most likely Fran because they're taking Hannah Dodd out everywhere. She went to New York with Luke and Yaren. Did she? Oh, I didn't see that. And she's already getting all the beauty deals. It's clearly Fran and Michaela next season. But didn't they say it was already?
I don't. I think that was a prediction that it was going to be Eloise.
Oh, okay.
Um, Sir Philip, but I don't think it's going to be I don't think it's going to be Fran because nobody wants to watch Eloise. Like I don't think anybody wants to see Eloise continue to complain about how she hates men.
I know
Like
Claudia doesn't want to do the sex scene. She's not looking forward to that.
she's not. I know she's not. Which I think their sex scenes are going to be very minimal. But to
Mhm.
be fair, they don't really have a lot of sex scenes in her book, so she's actually okay. Like they have one little scene in the greenhouse, but it's 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 like it's very small. And then I think there's a scene where they're both sitting at the dinner table and they're like, she's thinking about all the times they did it around the house, but it's not like she's thinking about it. It's not like they're doing it, but I don't think she's gonna have a lot to worry about. I think they're gonna make it very minimal for her, but I don't think it's Fran because we just got Fran last season. We
Yeah, but
literally
they gave us little snippets, like you said, of Fran and Michaela and stuff. So maybe who knows? But yeah,
I
that's a
think
good
it's the
point.
same way that they did with like season one. Like you're getting like I feel like they did it kind of like with season one. You got Daphne and Simon. Then you had Kay and Anthony's little story. Then you also have Pollen's story going on during that too. So I think that's the theme of this show is like showing everybody's little snippets. Like you still had Daphne in season 2 a little bit, and then you were shining light on Pollen's story because they were next, and then you were still giving Cantony's story in the middle. Same thing with season 3. You got Pollen's main story, a little bit of. I think what they fucked up with is they should have waited till this season to start showing more of Michaela and like the whole thing with John and Fran. But I think because they had just switched Fran from Ruby Stokes to Hannah Dodd, they wanted to introduce her early. So I don't think they should have introduced John though. I think we should have got John this season because John's story doesn't really link up until like Pollen's season. Like Pollen's book is where you first are seeing John. No, lies. Pollen's book and Michael, Pollen and Francesca's book crosses. So I don't think we should have got them until this season that's showing now. But
they already messed up the whole timeline with switching in season 3. So everything's up in the air.
That's why I said, like, nobody really should be going into this show. I tell people this every season, Jen. Do not go into this season with any expectation from that book. Like, literally throw it out the window. Throw it out the window. Expect maybe some lines from the book, but your story plots, all that shit, just is effing all of that up. Just get ready to get effed up. It's going to be effed up. Like, don't expect nothing from that book. Like you might get your major scenes, but anything like the story connecting, anything like that, forget it. Like,
yeah, set your expectations low and you won't be disappointed.
That's why I keep telling people, go in with this. They won't fuck this up. I'm telling you, I'm going in with season 4. As all I say is, as long as I Want Your Future is in there, I'm good. But I am not going in with no expectation of them giving me anything lined up to whatever I've read, because they're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna fuck it up. So that's why I'm like.
And if they don't, it'll be a pleasant surprise. That's all.
If they don't fuck it up, I'm gonna be like, because what she said last season, this is her masterpiece. Season 4 is her masterpiece.
We'll see about that.
I'm like, girl, how you turn Cinderella into a masterpiece? Because there's only so many damn ways you can write this damn story. I'm just gonna be honest. You can only write Cinderella so many different fucking times.
It's her masterpiece, not the fans. It's just mine.
Right.
Just my masterpiece.
Obviously, which is Boo Boo, because she clearly doesn't know what the hell she's doing, but whatever. Anyway.
All right. Anyway, so wrapping up, thank you, Mia, for joining me. I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. This was fun. I love it.
I know. I like that we go back and forth really well, so I like that. But yeah, so in conclusion, the production, they're not really promoting it, but also the fact that the actors really heavily promoted themselves last season, that's a factor. So the actors are not really doing that. So give it a chance. I'm going to give it a little more time.
So the fans need to do some stuff too.
Yeah, the fans need to do some stuff because last season everyone got hyped up. But anyway, I think that we need to give this season a chance. I want to because I like Benedict's story. So I'm just going into it with low expectations because it's the same showrunner.
Yes.
And that's it. So hopefully we get some good shit like the end of the month or January because I'm just sitting here waiting.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
All right. So I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go to bed. But thank you again, Mia, for joining me. And I'll see y'all next time in my next video.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.